Well, hello and welcome to the video. This is Hooves of Doom, obviously, and I'm doing a little bit of a hobby journey, kind of a little bit of a review of what I've been working on for the past, month of October for the most part. Now, obviously, I've gotten back into the YouTube game a little bit in the past month. There was a bit of a hiatus between March and October. We moved into a brand new house, and there were some health scares along the way, and so it was kind of a stressful period and not the most enjoyable experience. Some death and other misfortunes along the way. But I'm here now, and I'm looking forward to picking up where I left off and pushing this channel a little bit. So October has been I think, a fantastic month. I picked up the Black Templars Army box, my wonderful Black Templars Codex supplement here with the little John Blanche art. Absolutely love it. I'm loving the rules. I think it's going to be a really cool army. I'm toying with the idea of recreating my Templar army that I sold many years ago, and I probably won't match well with the new rules necessarily, but lots of nostalgia there, and I think that'd be fun to kind of recreate something that I once had, and I've kind of lamented losing ever since. But a really special place in my hobby for the Black Templar, and I'm looking forward to kind of exploring that. And I think I'll be transitioning and working on that army in the short term. But, it was a good month. I got my Warhammer Plus voucher, as well as a few other little bonuses. And I got the Sergeant Castus model as well, because that was available through October. And I also decided to pick up the two Warhammer Day limited edition models. That vampire especially is just incredible. I showed that to Mrs. Hooves, and because the vampires are really kind of her army, and she demanded that I buy that. So, of course, I'm going to comply. I also did pick up a couple boxes of the Armageddon Steel Legion. The army went on last chance to buy, kind of made to order. So I probably won't see those for a little while. But that army, again, even coinciding with Black Templar, that's the Third War of Armageddon, that release around 2000, 2001, that was so pivotal in my early hobby years. And so the Steel Legion also, even though I've never really had much of an army of them, I wanted to pick up, some representative force to kind of add to my collection overall. So I picked up a couple boxes of those. I'll get those in sometime in the future. I haven't assembled any of the Black Templar yet from the core army box. I just assembled Sergeant Castus, and I've been focusing mostly on painting. And really, army painting to some extent. At the beginning of August and July even, I was really starting to worry. I was behind on what I had aspired to do throughout 2021, and that is to paint a lot of models. And at that point, I still hadn't finished my Hedonite army. And the Hedonite army is big, but I was really hoping to be finished that by March, and here it is, July. And at that point, I'd probably bought something around 250 models, and I hadn't painted nearly that amount. And so I was kind of ready to write off this year as yet another year in which I kind of have a deficit of painting. And that kind of bummed me out. It's like the 6th straight year in a row that I've been tracking this, and I wouldn't live up to the expectations. But I turned it around big time. So I'm pretty excited here, because I actually, as of, yesterday, painted 390 models, over 100 more that I bought. And that makes me very happy. And so, I did push through. I painted my Nighthaunt army, in about a month, little less than a month. That was most of September or most of October. And then I've been pushing really hard into Necrons, and I've gotten most of those done. I think I'm down to like the last 15 models. Some of those will take a little more. They're characters, a couple bigger vehicles and things like that. But there's absolutely no world I can see where I don't finish the Necron army in November. It will probably be finished in the next week or two. And that has me very excited because I'll transition into Black Templar. I got, I'm still kind of waiting for the pre-orders to come up there, but I have a good 50 or 60 Black Templar already that I can chew into and then start working on. But man, I am so excited. I'm so excited to see that volume. I have a good, I'm traveling a bit in December, but I have a good 6 weeks of painting still to go. So I don't, even if I buy a little bit of Black Templar, it certainly won't eat into that 100+ models that I'm above and beyond my deficit. And I'll probably paint more, in the next 6 weeks. So I'm a pretty good chance of maybe standing out 150+. That's my goal. And that would be terrific. And if I can maintain that type of momentum throughout the entire year, I can maybe finish my collection within a decade. But I'll also, I'm very much aware too that Night Hunt and Necrons are probably some of the easiest models you could possibly paint. So maybe I can't maintain that type of level of productivity quite as much. I still need to paint their bases. There's still a bit of work to be done, but I'm pretty excited. The other big thing taking up my time, and something that I have been working on even throughout my hiatus, is my collection resource, my comprehensive database of every Games Workshop model. And good Lord, is this taking up some time? It's definitely 2 steps forward, 1 step back with so many releases. And I just redid my office and stuff, so my computer was off in a different room, and I hadn't touched any Games Workshop releases for a good month, and it takes hours to kind of catch up to where I was. But I think it's looking good. I will tell you right now, I have a good 4,000 or so catalog models. Let me just take a look really quickly. This is gigabytes worth of images and data files, and so 203 folders, over 10,000 supporting images. It's growing, and this is something that I honestly feel like at this point I could really sink substantive amount of time, because now I'm kind of caught up to everything I've been doing for the past 20 years, and I'm starting to kind of go through catalogs page by page and confirm names and confirm that models are represented. It's kind of time, it's a bit of a time sink, it's a bit of a laborious task, but I actually really enjoy it. But I do think I need to come up with some sort of product in the short term, rather than waiting until I have everything possibly I could ever want assembled in one neat package. I need to get something out, even if it's just like the Stormcast collection, something that I absolutely know I have every single possible model for. I would love to do Stormcast and Space Marines, but Space Marines themselves are going to be going back quite a while. Going into the 90s and 80s and identifying all the possible models takes some work. But that's moving forward. And it will probably, I'm toying between Citadel Archive is kind of what I'll end up probably calling this project. A little bit tongue-in-cheek, the Citadel Miniatures. But it might be under generic hoovesofdoom.com or something thereabout. And I might just have a substantive platform dealt with the collection of models, and then kind of, I often write a lot of scripts with my videos. I can kind of put those as like a blog post and embed the videos as well. So that's one option I've been working on, is kind of, is it a citadelarchive.com or is it hoovesofdoom.com? I love Who's of Doom. It's not the most intuitive that it's actually some sort of hobby channel, but it is what it is. I got a new hobby desk. My office is coming together. I'm on a nice little standing desk, and I've been really enjoying that. I like the extra height. I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'3", so that extra 4 or 5 inches, even if I'm sitting, it's really helpful. And so that's great. My channel itself, it's growing, and I'm now getting close to that 1,000 subs. I don't really care about subscribers that much. I'm a pretty niche content type of channel, but there's still room to grow. And 1,000 subs means something to YouTube. There are steps and features and that get unlocked at that level. So that's almost primarily the reason I want to hit that mark in the short term. And I'm really thinking of doing a giveaway, maybe. And like start collecting bucks like I did a couple of years back. I think I got a couple 100 subs out of that at the time. Just thinking, yeah, it might be worth me spending $60, $70 and pushing myself beyond that threshold. We'll see. Anyone that subscribes to me would be automatically probably entered into that type of thing or something thereabout. I need to think out the details and decide whether or not I want to do it or not. But I want to push the channel. I want to continue producing content, and we'll see. So some upcoming videos is a lot of Stormcast etymology. I'm thinking about how I should break these down, whether or not I should do 3 or 4 different terms as a single video, or maybe just do shorter videos and produce more. And I'm kind of leaning more towards that latter choice, because I think I could probably do 4 or 5 minute videos, but on more concise subjects, and just rather than combining 3 or 4 mismatched terms that might not be related to one another that well. I'll also be doing probably a video on like the Aquila, the Imperium, other topics that are more kind of a combination of lore, etymology, and historical context. I just put out my first one, the Anvil Apotheosis. I like that video. And I kind of want to do more of that type of format if I can. Plus, when I finish my Necron collection, you'll see a video of that. So that's all in the works. I hope you had a great October. Hopefully you got some painting done and you moved ahead on your hobby goals. I will see you in the next video.